Hi everybody, my name is Anna Claire Stinson. I'm a career counselor in the University Career Center at Auburn University, and today I'm going to give you your next quick tip on how to develop your bullet points in your resume or your CV. And oftentimes this is the most intimidating part of developing these documents. So in order to help you with this, I have this helpful tip sheet here. You can also find this tip sheet on our website under the Students tab. So that's career.auburn.edu, and it's also linked right below this video. So instead of thinking with your bullet points about just what you did, just a laundry list of tasks, instead I want you to think about what did I accomplish or what did I contribute to this organization with this particular task, all right? And if we walk through these steps, hopefully that will help you develop these bullet points really effectively, okay? So I'm just going to walk you through kind of what each of these steps means. So before you even start writing your resume or developing your bullet points, I want you to connect it back to the particular position that you're applying for, whether it's a job, internship, or even graduate or professional school. So first you want to look at a job description or look at the requirements and really pinpoint what exactly they're looking for in this hire or this candidate, okay? And then we break it down from there. So as we're developing one bullet, start thinking about the skill needed for the new position. So say it's communication. And we can even specify it down even more and say verbal communication. All right, so once we've identified that skill, then I want you to kind of flip through all of your past experiences and think about a time that you have used that skill or demonstrated that skill or gained that skill in a position or an organization. And really open up your mind to all different types of experiences. It doesn't just have to be work experiences, volunteer, involvement, even group projects in your courses, okay? So think about a time that you've used that skill, okay? And then we start really developing our bullet point. So we're always gonna start with an action verb, okay? If it was a current position, so you're currently working at this job, or you currently have a leadership position, then it's going to be a present tense verb, okay? So think of like communicate or collaborate, develop, something like that. If it's a past position, past tense verbs, developed, communicated, that sort of thing. All right, and try to vary up those verbs as much as you can. You don't want to use the same verb over and over. And I also encourage you to think about really powerful verbs over really vague verbs, okay? So words like assist, worked, helped, something like that, they aren't going to be as powerful as other verbs like collaborated, communicated, generated, developed, things like that. All right, so once we have our action verb, then I want you to go into the task, describe the task, but always connect it back to this new position that you're applying for. So include relevant information and really try to bring in transferable skills, okay? And again, connect it back to that new position. All right, and then once we've described the task and described that contribution, then this is the part where you can really strengthen your bullet. You can talk about the result. So what happened because you performed that task, okay? So thinking about outcomes there is really, really helpful. Or you can talk about the reason or the purpose. Why did you perform that task? What was the meaning of that task? Or you can talk about the method or how you performed that task. So maybe it was a particular computer program you used or a software or a technique that you learned in a class, something like that. And honestly, you can use multiple others. You can talk about the method and the purpose if you want to. So these are just some helpful ways to get you thinking about how we can strengthen these bullet points, all right? And then from there, if you can quantify information, you are just going to make that bullet point stand out so much more. So think about dollar values, percentages, any sort of quantification you can add in. If you worked with a group on a project, mention how many team members. If you babysat for a family, what were the ages of the children and how many were there? If you, let's say you worked for an organization and kind of managed their social media, Okay, what was the percentage increase of followers from the time you started, from the time you, or to the time you end? So kind of think about it that way. That makes it a little more concrete and a little more tangible. Okay, and always feel free to use industry-specific terms as well. All right, and then once we've done that, make sure that you go through and remove all personal pronouns, no I, me, my, and excessive articles. Try to condense it down and get rid of the superfluous information or the superfluous words as much as you can. And whenever we're looking at it on the page, we do want to limit it to 1 to 2 lines. Once we get over into the third line, it gets a little long. So I encourage you to think about how you can condense it down or break it up into 2 separate bullets. Okay. With that being said, I do want it to span for about the entire first line. So if you have a 3-word bullet or a bullet that only takes up half the line, that's probably not going to be long enough to be fully developed. Okay? So I encourage you to kind of use this tip sheet to work through each of those bullet points and really develop them as best you can. Remember, we are always here to help you with all aspects of resume and CV writing. You can utilize our e-resume review service on our website, and you can upload your resume to VMock to get instant feedback. All right, so we are here to help. Let us know if you have any questions, and I hope this was helpful for you. Stay tuned for our next quick tip, and let us know if you need anything at all. Take care.